Several of you over the past several months have been asking me, Anna, when are you going to have another one of your Rock That Fitness ladies on the podcast? Because we want to hear another story. Well, today's your lucky day because today I'm super pumped. We do actually have a very special guest, and she is a member of Rock That Fitness. She joined Rock That Fitness back in the beginning of the year, actually spring 2025, when she jumped into our free Jumpstart Challenge, which is the challenge where ladies come in and have the opportunity to implement a Rock That Fitness program, a strength training program inside of the Rock That Fitness app, coached by me. Yeah, that's when she came in, and then she joined in, and now you get to hear this exciting story. This is a very high vibing episode, so I'm going to warn you now. Get ready. Get ready to get on fire. And by the way, if you want to join the next free Jumpstart Challenge, we're going to be doing this again in the fall. And I just can't wait. Like, it can't get here soon enough. If you want to join us in this challenge, get on the wait list. That link is going to be in the show notes. So make sure you click that to get on the list so you'll be the first to know when you can join the free Jumpstart Challenge and start rocking your strength training, getting stronger, building muscle in our free challenge, Jumpstart Challenge, coming this fall. I don't have exact dates, but if you get on that list, you will totally be in the loop. I'll be sending you emails and keeping you informed. So do the thing and get on there. Like, why don't you just stop right now? Just stop everything, pause, go to the show notes, and get on the list for the next Jumpstart Challenge. Okay. That's my little announcement. I don't have any real personal updates, except that I don't know about you, but I'm having a fabulous summer. Is it perfect? No, there's not. Never anything perfect, but summer is summering for 2025 for me. I'm getting a lot of float therapy. I have gotten to go do some boogie boarding. I've even attempted some surfing. That didn't go over very well with my right shoulder injury recovery. That's why I went and got a brand new boogie board. Loving it. Can't wait to get back out to the beach and do that again. Yeah, and Country Boy is cracking the whip on me to help finish this project, this phase 6, this empty nest phase 6, empty nest. What am I calling this again? It's our mission empty nest phase 6, which is our main bathroom. Okay. And we're getting so close. I'm almost over it. He even put a list, y'all. He put a to-do list written in black magic marker, a list taped on the mirror in there, and I'm crossing off the things that I got to do. But I can't complain because Country Boy has put in the work, the blood, sweat, and tears. Let me tell you, he has done so much. Anyway, we're coming close to finishing. I cannot wait. If you've been following me on Instagram, look soon, because I can't wait. I think we're almost done. When we're done, I'm going to be sharing all the beauty. It's beautiful. The floor tile, the paint, the new tub, the shower, the mirrors, the lighting. It is cool. So it's coming to, that's the only real personal thing. Otherwise, life is amazing, not perfect, but we're going along. And what other life update can I tell you? I have been tracking my food in a slight healthy calorie deficit for the past 5-6 weeks now. I need to get out of it because I need to get back into my maintenance, so that I don't drop my metabolism. But girl, I was like working to get some shreddy spaghetti, and if you're YouTubing it, I think I'm not saying I'm shreddy spaghetti, but I can tell you that I have shed a little bit, and it sure feels great. Maybe I'll share more about that on Instagram too. But it just comes down to the basics. Just getting in a healthy calorie deficit, maintaining strength training on a regular strength training progressive program, getting plenty of sleep, hydration, getting your steps in, making sure you hit your protein. It's all the basic stuff. It ain't sexy, but the results are sexy. Speaking of results, let's get into this podcast episode where my amazing spotlight member of Rock That Fitness comes on and shares her story of her progress so far. She hasn't reached her goals, but this is the beauty of this story, is that she is on fire. She is doing the thing. She has had amazing results physically, mentally, emotionally. And I just know that you are going to relate to her. So let's bring it. The motivation, inspiration, education, all the Asians. You're going to love it. Let's get into it. Hello, Laura Schulz. Welcome to the show, girl. I have been anticipating this for since we talked about this a few weeks ago or however long it was. And I'm so excited to have you. So welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And again, thank you for asking me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, I am honored, honestly, that you're willing to do this. I know it's, anytime I have a Rock That Fitness member or client that comes on, I know that it's kind of like a little nervousy and butterflies, but truly, I just really appreciate that you come on here and do this and do it scared if you are. And so there's so much I want to cover today. I'm super excited that, like I said, so super excited that you are willing to do this because, just knowing you and having been walking alongside you for this period of time that I've known you since the spring, working as your coach and being a part of Rock That Fitness in the community, I have just been very impressed with you and your approach and your attitude and all that you've accomplished. And so I'm so excited to share you with our listening audience and to highlight you inside of Rock That Fitness right now. So before we get into all the fun questions I have to ask you, will you please share a little bit about you? Like, are you a mom? Are you married? Do you have kids? Where do you live? What do you do? All of, that kind of stuff that we want to know. So tell
Oh,
us a little bit about you, Laura.
yeah, you bet. We'll dish it out. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I am, again, so excited to be here. But my name is Laura, and I am 58 years old. I am married. I've been married for 38 years to a wonderful man who's just
Wow.
out. And we have two kids, two adult children. They're 33 and 29, soon to be 30. They live out of state, but we live in Florida. We lived in Southwest Florida, down in the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area for most of our adult lives, and raised our kids and had our careers there. And we just recently, a couple years ago, moved up to North Florida. We love it up here. We're kind of out in the country. And so, yeah, I am a retired math teacher, and I taught high school math and middle school, but absolutely loved my job. And
Oh,
so it was good. But, I went ahead and kind of retired while I still loved my job. Teaching's quite a bit. It has over the years, but I do love it. And but yeah, right now I'm actually in my new community here doing some substitute teaching, which is fantastic because I still get to be with the kids and go into school, and I can work what I want, and no pressure, no stress, and it's great. I love it.
yeah.
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 So yeah, it's all good.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. So you're retired and you're a math teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I love
good.
it. Yeah. So
What do you, so you're doing that, you're doing like some substitute teaching now. Are you subbing in math? I take it like in math.
all subjects. I'm
Okay.
small schools here, and they keep me busy, and wherever they need me and whatever subject they need me to do. There was probably one of my first teaching substitute teaching gigs here, which was completely out of my wheelhouse. I had to substitute for the math teacher, for the music teacher,
Oh,
and it was
so great.
garden up through 8th grade, and I had to spin on a dime, and I'm doing songs and singing and stomping my feet, all these
Oh
things.
my goodness.
No idea what I'm doing, but we made it work, and it was fun. So,
That is so funny. I want to share that I can actually relate to this. I have to share this because I don't know if I've ever shared this, but I have actually substitute taught in the school before.
well, good.
I've done this. I've done this before. And what's funny, it was years ago. I was a young adult. I was in my early 20s, and one of my first substitute teaching jobs was in a music class. It was like a choir class or something. And here's what is so funny. I'll never forget this because these kids grilled me. I was sitting there at the front of the desk, at the front of the class, and they all come in, right? The bell rang. They're all coming in here being, I think they were junior high kids. So
Oh,
this is brutal. This is brutal. They're like, Miss, how old are you, Miss? Like, are you really old enough to be a grown up? What's that?
I said they saw you coming.
Man, they were, yeah, it was something. It was
Oh,
very interesting. So I can relate to that.
oh,
Well, cool. Well, let's get into our talk today. I am super pumped. I've like a million questions I want to ask you, but um, we'll just take it as it goes. You've had some great success in Rock That Fitness, and I think it goes beyond, from what I understand, it goes beyond what's happening with you physically.
sure.
So, can you take us back to where you were physically and mentally before joining us in Rock That Fitness? What was life like then?
Sure. Well, probably like a lot of women, my age, and I, you've tried everything in the book, and I've kind of, in a nutshell, was the chubby kid. I've been overweight since fourth grade. But I don't think I ever really thought of myself as being overweight. And so over the course of, 40, 50 years, you try the diets, you do everything, and I've lost the weight, but I don't think it never really clicked that I had to do that forever, really get my nutrition down and my fitness down and all those things. I think I always just did just enough to lose the weight. And you feel great for a time period there for a while. And then over the course of the years, I think we were saying I had tried everything. I mean, you name it, I tried it. And, insert diet plan here. And, um, they all worked. I stuck with them all most of the time long enough to lose weight. But the problem is once you come off of those things, you tend to go back to your old habits and the weight comes back. And, I've never really been one to love exercise and fitness and all of
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
Um, so, so bottom line is, and you have kids and you're working like crazy and you're just surviving. And, there was one point in my life where I did lose a significant amount of weight. Probably about 15, 16 years ago, I lost about 60 pounds.
Oh goodness,
And
yeah.
I did it through WW Weight Watchers, half of it, I will say. And I was working out, I was going to spin class, going to the gym, doing the body pump, doing all those things. But then I think in my mind, I got very impatient. And I'm like, this isn't coming off fast enough. I'm not hitting, the goals I want as quickly as I want. And um, so I joined one of those medical weight loss places where they give you the the drugs, the weight loss drugs, the Fenterman or whatever it was, and
Okay.
you know they've got you eating 500 calories a day, which is so not healthy.
Wow. Wow.
And the weight came off, and I got very, very, I don't want to say very thin, but I looked good. I was in clothes that I thought I would never get into. The scale number was great, but I think that lasted probably maybe one day. Because once you start going eating normally again, I mean, goodness, it's like, okay, who can survive on 500 calories a day? You just can't. So, I ended up gaining out of that 60 pounds over the course of the next few years. I gained back about probably 30, 35 pounds. So I never got as big as I once was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was because, I always maintain, I've always been a walker. I love to get out and just walk because you just throw your tennis shoes on and just go outside and start walking. And, that was always kind of a saving grace for me. But, fast forward to now, like when I joined Rock That Fitness again, I had followed you on you had done WW a long time. I know you've mentioned that before. And I saw you in Connect, and I thought, wow, that Anna, she's got it going on. She looks so good, and she's so positive. And so I was just drawn to you. And then about that time, I think you went off on your own and joined the Rock That Fitness, and you started your podcast a couple years later. And so I've always followed you on podcasts and Instagram, and you've always been there motivating me, whether you knew it or
Aw,
not.
I
And
love that.
yeah, so it's just always been the inspiration that I needed. And so as we moved, we made the big move a couple years ago. Retired, moved, um, built a house, settled in, and I finally just, my weight was just not what I wanted it to be. And I'm like, we got this beautiful yard. We have 1 acre here. I love working out in the yard. And I want to be able to do that. And I think, the combination of that and then just another history, that is kind of important to me. Couple things that are really important to me that I feel like everything kind of came together. When I was younger, I lost my mom to breast cancer. I was 20 when she passed. She was only 53.
Oh my.
My younger sister passed from breast cancer 8 years ago.
Wow.
And I even had a cancer scare several years back. And fortunately, it was caught in time, and I'm fine, and I'm on a high risk protocol. So ladies,
Yeah.
make sure you
Yeah.
get your checks.
Yeah, for sure.
But so, and then my dad, he lived to 87, but he was in a nursing home, completely immobile. And I think, his situation, he had always been very fit and always very healthy. And then the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years of his life, I don't think he was doing the things he needed to do, and didn't make some good lifestyle choices. And, with eating and exercise and things. So, he ended up having to go into the nursing home with, diabetes and heart disease and all the things. And I'm like, you know what? I think that I did not want that to be me. So between the cancer scare and the issues with, my dad, I'm like, I don't want any of this to happen to me. I want to be healthy and fit. I want to stay off medication as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to get my nutrition under control and to get my fitness under control and get my head right. So I knew that, again, going back to Rock That Fitness, I knew, that was probably the way that I was going to get it done. And I think I had messaged you. I was trying to find out, hey, when are you going to open up membership again? And you were kind enough to get back with me. And you said, hey, we got a Jumpstart week coming up. And so I signed up for that. And then that led into the Kickstart. And that was back in March, I believe. And even before the Jumpstart week happened, I found your free resources. I went back and I found your nutrition guide, and I found your 30-day strength training plan, and I printed those things off and I got to work.
Awesome.
And just started. And it made a difference. And I knew, I don't want to say that I had kind of hit rock bottom with it, but I think I had just finally realized, I made a decision that, there is no magic pill out there. There is nothing for me. And, I did not want to do any more medication. I didn't want to do, for me personally, I did not want to do the GLP-1, shots or whatever. And I said, if I'm going to do this, I got to do it right for me personally. And so it clicked. And I think, that made a huge difference. So,
yeah. I love all of this that you shared, Laura. And you answered my question, because what I was asking was, what pushed you to take that first step? And it sounds like it was it was not just one thing. It was like a
Right.
culmination of things happening and that have happened in your life.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
before I move on, I want to make sure the camera's got a great angle on you and we're cutting
Yeah.
off the top of your head. And
Oh, I know. I'm
like,
sorry. Let's see.
we all want to see all of you.
Yeah.
See your whole
Hold
face.
on. Let me lift it up. Let me try one more time. One more thing. One more thing.
Okay.
There we go. Hopefully
Okay. Good
a little
job.
better. I'll scooch down.
So, yeah, and yes, we are going to be having Jumpstart again. Jumpstart Challenge is coming up in the fall, so I'll mention that towards the end of our conversation as well.
Mhm.
But what pushed you? You did the Jumpstart Challenge. That
Mhm.
didn't put you inside a Rock That Fitness
No.
membership quite yet. But what
No.
pushed you to take that first step to join us in Rock That Fitness? What was it that pushed you to do it?
Well, I knew a couple of things. The community is fabulous. There's so much support. You've got the weekly Zoom calls. We've got the workout plans that are right there accessible for you, and I love them, by the way, because they don't get old. They rotate every 6 weeks, so you have a chance to see progress over that 6 weeks with increasing your weights and increasing your strength, and then just so you don't get bored, it switches. So I'm like, okay, and then you have a whole new set. So I love that. I'm not out there hunting and pecking and searching YouTube or fitness apps or whatever for just some random workouts. So that's what
Yeah.
I love most about it. And I love the support, the community. The ladies are fantastic. I feel like I've made some virtual friends, and I hope I get to meet them in person at some point. And um, I knew how rich the program was, and it just hits from all angles, and not only the fitness and the nutrition aspect of it with help with tracking food and things. It's the mindset piece of it. And I know you are really focused too, or you help us focus on the mindset where it's um we've talked about the all or nothing approach. How many times do you have a bad day and you blow it and you're like, oh, forget it. I'm not doing this. It's not working. I can't stick to it.
Right.
And you focus on consistency. And I will tell you, if any, for the people listening, you cannot give up. You've just got to stick with it. And I think one of the things I did when I initially joined, if this makes any sense, I think I just put blinders on. I put blinders on and I said full speed ahead, because you know what? I just kind of had to get on. For me personally, I had to get on an autopilot
Yeah.
focus, like a machine. And that's just me. And I'm like, because the thing, honestly, of all of this, I think honestly, the thing I hate absolutely the most is tracking. And I think that was my biggest thing. I was just like, oh, I don't want to have to track my food. But it's how freeing is it? Because I've gotten into kind of, I think at one point you suggested doing the pre-tracking, which I do. And I pre-track kind of what I'm going to eat for the day. I weigh my food, which is shocking, because you think you're eating only so much, and then you weigh it, you're like, whoa, that's like enough for an army. What was I thinking? So you know uh, so tracking my food, weighing my food, now
All
it's
that
such
pushed
a
you? All that pushed you into joining?
yes.
You're so
Well,
funny.
because but I knew how great the program was, and I know I got off on a tangent with that, but one of the things that I knew I was going to have to do it. I just bit the bullet and I did
Yeah.
it.
Well, and I
That's
remember in the very beginning when you did join, in
Mhm.
the beginning when everyone joins Rock That Fitness, we begin with a 6 week group coaching
Mhm.
experience that we call Kickstart. It's our orientation for 6 weeks. And I remember during that first 6 weeks when you joined,
Mhm.
in the very beginning, you could tell you were laser focused. You were quiet. You were
Mhm.
quiet.
Mhm.
You were very observant. You didn't talk a whole lot. You were just like, you looked serious. But I
Mhm.
imagine during that time, you probably had all these wheels spinning, you know.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
watching you because I was kind of wondering what's going on behind the scenes over here
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
Because in the
Yeah.
beginning you were quiet and you were just like laser focused, like you said, listening,
Hmm.
pay attention, writing notes.
Hmm.
And I always am so curious what's happening. I don't make assumptions. I don't know what people are thinking,
Hmm.
but it was interesting how you were real quiet in the very beginning, and then as things started rolling along for you, that's when you got more vocal and
Hmm.
sharing and asking questions and things for
Hmm.
yourself.
Hmm.
But so much has changed. I mean, it hasn't even been a very long time, Laura.
No.
It's only been since, like you said, March. So spring when you joined us,
Mhm.
and so much has changed for you. And so,
Yes.
what have been the most noticeable shifts for you so far? Like all three. I'd like to know what have been the most significant shifts in your physically,
Hmm.
mentally, and emotionally. Like, tell us so far in this short
Hmm.
period of time what has changed.
Well, physically, it's amazing how much strength you gain very quickly by being consistent and doing the workouts and keeping track of what you're lifting. It's amazing how quickly the strength comes. I know the other day we have dumbbells. I work out at home, and I know one of the things, like I lifted up a 5 pound dumbbell and it felt like nothing. And I said to my husband, I said, boy, this sure feels light. And he's like, well, that's because you've worked your way up to 18 now. And I'm like,
Right.
guess so, so that's shocking when 5 pounds used to feel so heavy to me. And so you got to start somewhere, and it's like amazing. And I'm seeing muscle definition, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
I'm getting like curves in my arms, and I'm
Yeah.
seeing changes in my body. And I have lost, I'm down on the scale, which is good. So I know it has to be fat because
Sure. Because
the
you're building
muscle,
muscle.
I'm building muscle. And then mentally, I think, going back to the mental aspect of it, one thing that is a huge shift for me is the fact that every time I've gotten on some type of fitness plan or nutrition plan or whatever to lose weight or whatever, it's always been because I had an end goal in mind. You know,
Ah.
I have to like lose weight for this event, or man, when I get down to this weight, my life's going to be perfect. And
Mm.
and I think a lot of us think like that. And this time I'm like, you know what? I really kind of don't care what I weigh on the scale. I mean, it would be nice, but my main focus right now is it's just going to take as long as it takes. And this is something that I have to do, which is a conscious decision every day, that this is something I'm going to have to do for the rest of my life. And I know that because the minute I stop, then I go backwards. And I don't want to go backwards. And, that's not the life I want. We're active. We like to travel. I want to be able to go out and hike and see things and do things. And, like I said, with my yard, drag a hose around the yard and water stuff, plant stuff and do all that. And emotionally, I was thinking, before our podcast, as I made some notes the other day, I thought, one thing that I have now that I'm not sure I really had before when it comes to fitness and nutrition and lifespan was, now I wake up every morning and I feel like I have hope, that
Oh.
I
Yeah.
wake up every day and I'm like, you know what? I am doing everything. I'm checking all the boxes. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing every day. And every day may not be perfect. There are some days I don't get all my steps in because we're busy or something happens, or maybe I don't, you know, I'm a little bit over my calorie range or a little bit under or something, but that's okay. The next day is a new day and I just keep going. And so it's just a lot of hope, and like, okay, I'm doing it. This is working. So I think mentally and emotionally, those are between, getting rid of that all or nothing mindset, being consistent, having hope. These are all the things that, you know, when you're in Rock That Fitness, when you're in this community and you have the support from you and Coach Abby and the ladies, it's just, it's fantastic. It's just
And
wonderful.
and that's what I was going to say is you're like, well, I'm checking all the boxes and I'm doing all of these things. There's a couple of things that come to mind when you say that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not about being perfect, and it isn't necessarily even about checking all of the boxes,
Mm-hmm.
because you're bringing a whole new energy to your life every day.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
sounds like you said, you're waking up with hope. So the question is, you're doing all these things, but are you doing, what's the difference? Like, the difference is not like, oh, I have to do these things.
Right.
You're
Right.
showing up with like, I get to,
Yeah.
and anticipating how you're feeling every day
Mm-hmm.
because of it, and that you're on a journey that is worth the effort, worth the work,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to go back. But the fact that you're taking these actions and taking aligned action, I should say, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women are spinning their wheels doing a lot of things, but you're
Sure.
taking aligned action,
Mm-hmm.
which feels so much like power. You have
Yeah,
power, and
it
you've
does.
taken
Yeah,
back your power,
it is.
and you know you're on a journey that counts, and
Mm-hmm.
this is the long game, and you're winning. It
Absolutely.
feel you when you feel like you're in control, it's so peaceful. There's
Yes,
a peace.
it is.
And
It
I
is
see that all
peaceful.
over you. I see that all
Yeah,
over you.
it's just peaceful. And you know what? I mean, it's like we use the word, I feel free. It's freedom. It's like, you know what? There's,
She's got the shirt to prove it.
yeah, I'm wearing my Rock That Fitness shirt. That's right.
Rockstar
Rep,
freedom. We're elevating soar
represent.
this year.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's, and that's the thing. And and like I say, I for me and my little simple brain, I say check the boxes, but I'm a chronic list maker, and I have a check forever. So my family, people who know me, they're like, yeah, that's true. So
So cute.
but every day I have three things in my head, and for I don't know if this resonates with anybody, but every day I have the three things in my head, like, what do I got to do today? And it goes back to the consistency of, am I tracking my food? Am I doing my RTF workout if it's, a day I'm supposed to do it? And number three, am I getting my steps in? And I know in my mind that if I can get those three things done, then, and if I don't, then I mean, the only one, honestly, that I'm probably not 100% on, and I'm not ashamed to say it, is the steps. But I work very hard to get my steps in every day, and I think I average
Yeah.
out for a week, but I don't beat myself up for it.
Right. Yeah.
Trying,
Yeah.
but I'm
It's
doing
your journey,
it. Mm-hmm.
and the aspects that you need to work on today, you're working on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting you bring up this idea about having a list of things to do. And I love to talk about this topic, because I think many of us think that we need to have a list of to do things, and if we
Mm-hmm.
check off all of those things on the list,
Mm-hmm.
then we're successful.
Right.
But the fact is, just because you have a to-do list and you check all of the boxes does
Mm-hmm.
not, it doesn't guarantee success. And
Right.
what
Right.
guarantees success is this idea of you waking up first thing in the morning, excited,
Mm-hmm.
driven, with
Mm-hmm.
hope.
Mm-hmm.
And that drive and that energy that you wake up with every day is going to ensure that you're going to take aligned action. You're doing the things that you know are going to bring you closer to your set out goals that you're heading towards.
Right. Right.
It's not that to-do list, because
Right.
what happens in that day
Mm-hmm.
is based on your energy and the drive that you have for where you're going. And so
Mm-hmm.
you end up actually invisibly,
Sure.
is that a word?
Yeah.
Checking
Yeah.
off the list, but checking off the list that are actions that are in alignment with where
Right.
you're going and what you want. And it's exciting and beautiful, because that's the difference between women who are spinning their wheels, putting the effort in, they're working hard, they're doing all the things,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
the actions they're taking are not, they're
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily a strategic plan in alignment
Sure.
with what they really want.
Right.
especially if they keep on focusing on the scale. Like you and I both know, like that's a losing battle. You're never, that's not the goal here. We want to
Right.
reshape our bodies. We want to build
Hmm.
muscle. We want to shed the
Hmm.
fat. And
Yeah.
it's once we can let go of this concept that this scale has so much power,
Hmm.
we end up having so much power when we
Hmm.
don't let that affect us anymore. So I love that you brought that up and that you shared these things, because many women are checking off a list, or they're
Right.
showing up to workouts
Hmm.
randomly, random
Right.
workouts,
Yes.
random things that are
Hmm.
not, they're not proven. They're not proven effective ways to reach your fat loss goals, strength and
Right.
fat loss goals, recompositioning your body.
Hmm.
So what, along this journey so far, what has surprised you the most on your journey? It sounds like this may be the thing that
Yes.
has surprised you the most.
Yeah, I think the fact that I'm actually really, well, two things actually. I think number one, that I'm really loving the workouts. I mean, and I get excited to see, okay, am I going to be able to lift more today? Am I going to be able to pick up this dumbbell today and, work to muscle exhaustion and, and do that, how high can I go, so, and setting little goals like that for myself. It's
Yeah.
kind of becoming like a little challenge for me. So I'm
Right. Right.
in that. The other thing that's shocking to me too is the fact that you know, I'm I've become like automatic about tracking and weighing my food. It's like it's become second nature for me. Like my husband will um, I hate to say this, but we do a lot of um, meal prepping. And we put, it helps a lot for me personally, little containers and stuff. And I know some people don't take it that far, but we've started doing that and it helps me. But like he just starts throwing stuff in there, and I'm like, whoa, slow down. We got to weigh all this. We got to track it. And,
Yes.
and and I'm just like, he's like, oh, sorry. And so, but so that has become second nature, and that is, it's that again, with weighing your food and tracking it. Um, if you think you're eating the right portion, I think going back and weighing it and truly measuring it, it's eye opening. It is
Yeah.
eye.
And like we always say, because what gets measured gets managed. If you
Yes.
don't measure it, you cannot manage it. It
Hmm.
gets out of control.
Yeah.
Um, what would be, I don't know if this is the same thing that you already said, but
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you, can you describe a specific moment when you realized, like, wow, this is actually working?
Yeah. I think, when I got on the scale, it it's very slow, and I think I got on the scale and I was really starting to see changes, along with seeing, at the same time, seeing some muscle definition in my arm. And it make no mistake, it took a long time. It took probably close to 2 to 3 months, before I really started seeing some serious changes. And looking in the mirror and seeing that, I was like, whoa, this is really working. And so turn this off real quick. It's working, and then seeing the number go down on the scale slowly, I was like, wow. And I think because, you know, the amount of calories that I'm eating, I am not starving. And there are days I'm like, I was struggling to get all my calories in at a certain point, and I'm like, gosh, it feels like I'm eating so much. And
Yeah.
and to see the changes in my body with the muscle definition and the scale actually going down at the same time, I'm like, wow, who knew? This is crazy. This is
Love
working.
it.
So,
Yes.
and I think, especially the older we get, we get so frustrated when we don't see things changing as quickly as we think they should.
Hmm.
And I have learned that my body is going to do what my body does when it wants to do it. And, and I just have to go with the flow. So, but yeah, as far as that one particular moment, I think, just seeing those two, starting to see those results.
Yeah. Yeah, and
But
we
it,
talk about that. You said it seemed to take a long time, and you say 2 or 3 months. That's really not a like,
I, yeah.
and that's because of your consistency. So
Hmm.
if somebody is off and on, loosey goosey doing the thing, then obviously it's going to be a lot longer.
Hmm.
So it's all about how you have shown up for
Hmm.
yourself consistently. That's
Hmm.
why you're seeing that. That's why you're seeing the trending downward, right, of the
Hmm.
scale.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, what does your day to day look like compared to before you joined us in Rock That Fitness?
Okay. Well, um, pretty much I get up and, I go ahead and after drinking a cup of coffee and, chilling out in the morning, I got to wake up and, I'll actually make my breakfast and then I'll do my workout. I always try to do my workout in the morning. And if I do have a substitute teaching job that day, I'll just work out when I get home. But for the most part, get my workout in the morning, get my steps in. We have a beautiful walking trail here. We have to drive to it, but my husband and I will go over and walk on the trail, and we enjoy that. And as long as we don't fry, because it's hot as Hades, so um, we'll do that, and then come back and do whatever we need to do around the house, run errands, all that kind of thing, and you know, and then whatever needs to get done. We try to stay active. I'm a little more mindful of not sitting on the couch and trying to get up and go do things, and um, go out in the yard, go, walk the dogs, do all those things. And, um, you know, and then on the days, like I said, on the days I work, I do the same stuff. I just do it when I get home from work. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I
Well,
make sure.
yeah. And I think too, when we were talking about this, I know that there's a lot of women over 40 that we reach and that we have inside of the community that are working, and they're
Mm-hmm,
very busy because they're working, right? I mean, even myself,
mm-hmm,
I'm working more than overtime right now, of course, with what I do, but I love what I do. It's a whole different life
mm-hmm.
than when I was a nurse.
Sure.
But can you speak to that? Because you do think that, I mean, we're speaking from your point of view now as a retired nurse,
Mm-hmm,
teacher,
mm-hmm,
but for the woman who is very busy in her life, like, is
mm-hmm.
this doable?
Yeah. You know what, and I have done it before, and I know some people listening might say, well, she's retired, it's
Right.
easy. And and I get that. I totally get it. And because when I was working, I always said, well, when I'm retired, fitness,
It's going to be
getting in shape
easier.
will be my job. But I look back and I think when I did lose that 60 pounds several years ago, I was working all day. I'd come home, get a little snack, do whatever. And then I turned right around and went out to the gym. And I was at the gym 5 nights a week. And then came back home, made dinner, did all the things. And I look back and I'm going, how in the world did I do all that? But I did. And I think the problem was when I got to that end point, I just did not sustain it. My mind was not in the right place. And
Yeah.
I think now it is, some things in my life obviously have changed. Um, but I think it's to where you have to put yourself first. I always think of it like, if you take a ride on an airplane, you fly somewhere, they always say put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you assist somebody else.
Right.
So you've got to take care of yourself. And one thing I will say, and you know I think a lot of it has to do with, I mean, you can schedule your workouts. You can get up early and do them, or you can do them when you get home, or do them at night. But one of the things I will say would be the nutrition. And one thing, even with my husband and I being retired now, we're still busy during the week. And, one of the things I will say is, I know you advocate this, Anna, is doing some type of meal prepping and prepping your food in advance, getting your protein ready, getting, salads ready or whatever. Get what you're going to eat, plan what you're going to eat. And I know there's been a few times we've been on some calls and you've talked about that. And some people, um, and they were like, well, I don't have time to do all that. Well, I will say, if you spend a little bit of time getting that done, your whole week is free. How we love going in during the week and just grabbing what we're going to eat, or just making
Yeah.
weighing it, and I don't have to cook. So
Right.
now
It's
we're
already
not cooking
done.
during the week. We're not cleaning the kitchen during the week. So actually, we're saving so much time to go and do the things that we want to do. And that, I would say, for us, and I'm very fortunate because my husband and I do tag team it. Um, you know, I'm cooking, he's chopping, and grilling, whatever. But we do get it done. We get it. We spend probably 2 hours a week max doing all of that, and it does make a difference. And it's just such a time saver. And I would say, probably for me, that has been a game changer. Because
Hmm.
if I'm tired at the end of the day, and I'm thinking, oh, what are we going to eat for dinner? I gotta stick to my plan. What am I going to do? And
Yeah.
you're tired, and then sometimes you end up making something or eating something that might not be the best choice.
Yeah.
So that has been, if I'm going to say anything to a working woman, if you can find that little bit of time, get your family involved if you can, you know, plan out what you're going to eat, and it doesn't have to be hard. Make it simple, you know, grill some
Yeah.
chicken, grill
Simple.
some, turkey burgers, whatever. Just keep it super simple. And I
I
think
think
that,
though what you're saying in I think the bottom line here is whether you are it doesn't matter in your life because everybody can make an excuse.
right.
Everybody. Even people who do not work full time will come up with all kinds of reasons.
Oh, yeah.
So it really comes down to this how you think about things. It's
Hmm.
your mindset for
Hmm.
your life. It comes
Sure.
down to that. Regardless, like you just said, you were able to, have some great success in fat loss and weight loss in the past while you were very busy. So
Hmm.
it really does come down to that. I mean, I can speak for myself because I was working overtime as a nurse in the hospital, all the things, right? And I had all the kids at home, they all had their activities. And I made a point. So it doesn't really matter whether you are working full time, um, whether you are retired, even if you're a caretaker.
Sure.
I have seen women have great success even in spite of the challenges that their life presents to them. It really comes down to, and I know this is going to step on toes and I'm getting spicy, but this is just the truth because I've seen it time and time again. You're
Hmm.
either going to be the type of woman that's going to stand up and make her health and her fitness a priority,
Hmm.
whatever it takes,
Yep.
or you're going to find all the reasons and excuses why you cannot. Because whatever you're looking for, believe me, you're going to find it. You will find it.
Yeah.
Looking for solutions, you're going to find them. Looking for excuses, you will find them. So it
That's
sounds to me like that's basically what you're saying. And no, we don't have to have all the little cute boxes of prepared food. Like that's great that you
yeah.
do that, Laura. I've never been
Yep.
that person. And you don't need to have a husband that's helping you. You don't need to have
No.
family to help you. Like
No.
you really have to decide,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And you know what? And that's the thing, Anna. I think for so long, again, I know some people listening might go, well, that, yeah, like you just said, that's great. Your husband helps you. That's great. Good for you. But it's true though. My husband will be the first to tell you, I am the queen of excuses. You just hit it right on the head. I will come up with 50 ways to tell you why I cannot work out, or why I couldn't, eat something healthy or track my food or whatever. I mean, it's human nature. And
Yeah.
finally I just had to basically tell myself to shut up, get over it. Let's go. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what?
not getting us anywhere.
You're right. I basically said to myself, you have a choice. You can sit around and be miserable, or you can get off your rear end and you can start doing what you need to do and be healthy,
Right.
and that's the path I chose. And I'm still
Yeah.
choosing that every day.
Yeah. And it
So
was hard, right?
it was very
We
well,
choose our
what
hard. You
part?
came in to Rock That Fitness, and then all of a sudden you had a coach that was going to tell you what you needed to hear and not what you wanted to
Yeah,
hear.
like get off your rear end. Let's go. Yeah.
So, yeah, all of that. Um, let's talk about Rock That Fitness for a minute. Yes,
Mhm,
I am going to brag all day long about our community and
mhm,
about just the power of the women that are all focused on the goal of making their health and their fitness a priority, encouraging each other, supporting each other. So, what role has Rock That Fitness community played in your success so far?
yeah, I think you go in the Facebook and on the Zoom calls, everybody is just so forthcoming, so supportive. Like if you post something in the Facebook community, which I'm not really a huge like poster, but I'm not a person who posts.
Yeah, yeah,
But I like to see, and I do post my workouts and things, and everybody's so positive and supportive and giving feedback, and you can ask a question in there, and people will respond. You truly get what you need in there. I mean, if you have a sense of community, like you said, everybody's like minded. We all have the same goal, you know, um, to age fit and strong and be
yeah,
healthy.
yeah.
And, there's no judging. It's like, it's so awesome. Everybody's there to help you and cheer you on. And, like I said earlier, I feel like I've made some friends virtually. And again, hopefully I'll get to meet them in person. Um, but there's several ladies who are in the Facebook community all the time. And a couple of them are just hilarious, and I love what they post. They're always so funny, and you probably know who I'm talking about. And I hope they're, but they're
I'm already thinking of who.
yeah, I know. It's,
We know you Rockstar ladies are listening, and we know who
yes,
you are when you're funny, and we
yes,
love it. Keep it up.
yes. Make me laugh every day. But
um,
everybody is just so friendly and so warm and just
but it's
kind.
not. Can you just affirm this? Like, can you agree that it's not a place of toxic positivity? Like
Oh
everything's just
no,
so
no, no, not at all. I mean, everybody's like, if you're having a rough day, they're like, they will help you work through that and, maybe give you some options and solutions. It's not all sunshine and roses and rainbows. It's, get in there and tell you like, well, this is what you got to do. Get back on the wagon and go,
yeah,
and which is what you need to hear, So if somebody isn't, maybe not, they've had a rough time the past few weeks for whatever reason, everybody's, empathetic and sympathetic, but, they're like, okay, well, you know what? Just get right back on. You can do this. We got your
yeah. What
back.
are we gonna do? Let's go.
Yeah,
What's next?
yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? Now that we're talking about this, I want to talk about this for just a moment, real quick, because
Sure.
I know, just like any community, any group you're in, it doesn't matter what it is. There are going to be, of course, it's just human nature. There's a certain percentage of people who are actively engaging. They are vocal. They're there, but then there's a huge
Hmm.
percentage of people that
Hmm.
are quiet and
Hmm.
they're not saying anything. And some
Hmm.
of those people, they're having their great results. They're putting in the work, they're putting in the effort. They're just not engaged. And that's fine because everybody's a different personality.
Hmm.
But let's talk about the woman who maybe, because we've got Rockstar listeners in here from
Sure.
Rock That Fitness. Laura, can you help talk to the woman who has been a part of the group? She was excited in the beginning, but things have waned for her. She feels like I can't measure up to Laura.
Hmm. Hmm.
She's gotten results and or all these people are posting their workouts. Oh, I just feel some, like, I'm not, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, can
Yeah.
we help her? How can we want, ladies, if that's you, we
Hmm.
see you, we know you're here, and we love you. And I
Hmm.
just want to speak to that rock star person, that's a rock star woman in Rock That Fitness, that feels like she doesn't really want to show up or be engaged, or she feels less than because everybody is posting all this stuff. I don't
Hmm.
know. What do you want to say to her?
Well, you know what? You might be kind of like quietly sitting behind this or on the sideline or behind the scenes a little bit, but you have so much experience, especially if you've been in this group for a long time. You've got so much experience, more so maybe at this point, well more than I have. And you have something valuable to offer. Get in there, get on a Zoom call with us, get in Facebook and, participate. And, a lot of times when you give, you get more in return. So I think with you sharing your knowledge and sharing your experiences, whether, maybe you're in a lull, maybe you've had some success and you haven't 100% shared that with everybody, just get in there and share where you're at. I think we all benefit from that and we can all help
Absolutely.
each other. So
Yeah,
it's
there's some growth that happens in that, actually. Besides the fact that if you can get out of that comfort zone, and share something, anything. I've been
sure.
quiet. Not that you were expecting, that you're going to come in and be all, engaging all the time. Nobody's expecting that. But if you feel like you have been kind of, on the sidelines and feeling not good enough, or that you can't do it, or you feel, yeah, totally. I think it's important to get engaged, get in the coaching group, talk, check in
Mhm.
on Mondays. We have our Monday check-ins, check
Sure.
in. There's
Hmm.
nothing it says it's be perfect or whatever. But I guess I just want to get to acknowledge any of the rock star women that are not as engaged. It doesn't mean that you're any less. Like, you're
No.
just different personality. And I know there's a lot of women in there that are quiet and they are having success and all that. So I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to bring that up, but we just want them to know that we love them, and they're not behind, and all those things. Come on in, do it.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
let's see here. What has been? I'm going to go move on to this couple more questions, and we'll probably be
Sure.
wrapping it up here
Sure.
shortly. What do you think has been what do you think has been the hardest part for you during this time on your journey, this time in Rock That Fitness? What has been the hardest part for you, and what helped push you through it?
Um, I think, you know, participating probably kind of goes back to what we just said. We're talking about the ladies who are kind of sitting on the sidelines. Not really a social media poster,
Hmm.
somebody who truly participates in that. So that has kind of been a good challenge for me. So when I do log on Facebook, I do go directly to Rock That Fitness and I participate in there and post my workouts and, look and see what everybody's doing. And doing that, I think, has probably been a challenge for me. The workouts are coming easy for me. I'm getting that done. The nutrition piece is good. I think probably just making sure, feeling comfortable, which you make everybody feel comfortable, Anna. So it's not that. I think just like I'm getting far more comfortable on the Zoom calls, talking, getting more comfortable in Facebook, and so it's a challenge for me because I'm normally not one to, you know, share a lot of stuff online. So,
Wow, yeah,
but
that's
I'm
great. And I know that some women have. Oh, I'm sorry, you
no, I was
broke
just
up.
saying I'm working on it.
You're working on it. You're out. You're out there.
What?
I remember how quiet you were in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
So I love that you shared that, that has been one of the hardest part. But, there's no requirement. There's no requirement inside of Rock That Fitness that you must be, vocal, posting, sharing, all that, because there are a lot of women that are busy. They are, most of their time is spent, of course, working, managing life, career, family, and not everybody can be as engaged on Facebook. That doesn't make you any better or worse. It's not that at all. I just think that it is very helpful to be engaged and to stay engaged, even if you're not posting. Just go
Right.
in there and see the wins that women are having,
Hmm.
see what's going on, like you said, going through. But there's no requirement. So I want to say that because sometimes women go, I can't keep up because there's
Yeah.
a lot of posting. Like, let's be honest, like Rock That Fitness is not a quiet group. Like, it's very active.
Right.
And it can feel intimidating if you're that quiet person in this group that's
Sure.
like, woohoo, we are rocking our
Yeah.
fitness.
Well, and that's why, you know what, I'm not going to say it's not that I'm all of a sudden a chatty Cathy in there, but I get in there and I kind of troll and see what everybody's doing and I'll comment, here and
Yeah.
there. But, you know, I agree with you. There's no like pressure for you to get in there and really, I mean, some people are just more natural, have a natural affinity for that, I think. And they get in and they feel very comfortable doing that. So I do what I can to stay involved with the group because I do care what the other ladies are doing. I do care about them. And I want to get their advice and I want to see what they're doing so I can learn from it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I just want to say that because I know women they're having some results and some of them are like really busy having
oh yeah.
careers, even having their own businesses, all of that stuff. And of course, a good portion of our women are also on one-on-one coaching because of that, because they
Mhm.
are not able to be engaged in the community. They choose to, you know, get that extra accountability and individualized coaching with one-on-one coaching. So,
Mhm.
let's move on to what I want to say next year. We've already talked about how powerful your story is because this isn't a typical, I'm highlighting you, spotlighting you, rock star, because you
Mhm.
have hit your goals.
Right.
What's
Right.
special about you is that you came in here in the spring, you have, put in the work, you have really just taken off, you got your wings and you're flying and you're flying on your journey
Mhm.
and you're making it work and you're waking up inspired and driven and doing the thing. And it's really completely different than how you have managed things in the past with all of the
Mhm.
things you've tried. So you're
Right.
not there, quote unquote, wherever there is
Mhm.
yet. But that, like I said, that's what makes your story so powerful, I think. And I think you've told us, but what keeps you motivated to keep
Mhm.
going, even though
Well,
you haven't quite hit your, you know, whatever the goal is? What keeps
sure.
you motivated to keep going?
Well, right now, I think it's a couple things because I've always said to myself, what would I look like if I had, if I really got in, you know, good shape? I mean, like what? I've always had that thought. And I think, as silly as it sounds, I'm like, if I was on my deathbed, what would be one regret I would have? And
Yeah.
that regret would be that I never went back and did what I needed to do to see what my life would have been like if I had just gone, whole hog and just did it.
Yes.
And so now I feel like, what, we all have things that we wish we could do over and, but you move past that. You're like, okay, whatever. But that is one thing. I think that's what motivates me. And the fact that, I mean, I want to stay healthy and fit and live a good, healthy, long, productive life. I don't want to be
Yeah.
in a home. I don't want to be stuck in a wheelchair. Um, so that's my main goal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 100%. I couldn't agree with you more.
yeah.
I remember years ago when I was on my fat loss journey and making so much progress myself on my own transformation. And I definitely, I think on a daily basis ever since, working so hard on my own personal transformation, Laura, that's one of the things that I think about every day. I don't ever want to have regrets. And
Right.
I don't have regrets because I know that everything I've gone through in my life up until this point was for me and serves me in some kind of a way. But
Hmm.
yeah, like I am like you, I think that's not even silly, it's not
Hmm.
even like morbid, it's the truth. Like I do think about one day at the end of my life, if I live a long life or even if tomorrow is my last day,
Hmm.
did I do everything? Did I don't want to have any regrets. i
Hmm.
i think that that's what, when we start thinking that way, we really do end up making some changes
Hmm.
because we
Sure.
will not allow fear to get in our way. The
Hmm.
fear that we need to have is fear of not doing the thing that will cause us a regret in the future.
Yeah.
That's what we should be afraid
Yeah.
of. And
Yeah.
I think that way all the time. I don't think that's silly at all. I think that is like the bottom line, powerful truth,
Yeah.
behind why we're motivated to do what we're doing every single day. And the great thing about this too, because all of us as women are loving, caring, nurturing of others
Hmm.
around us, is
Hmm.
that us doing this for ourselves is essentially one of the best things we can do for our families and the people that we love,
Hmm.
because taking care of ourselves is a beautiful gift, the best
Yeah.
gift we can give them, so that they are not feeling burdened to care for us in our,
Right.
for years we're taking care of ourselves. I want to feel that way. I want to feel proud that my family is not worried about my health.
Yes.
Not from a stance of pride, just
Hmm.
from a stance of I want to be the example that
Yeah.
they too can live long, healthy, strong lives too,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
Anyway, I'm with you. I get on a rant with this.
Well, no, it's true, and I think the other thing, kind of to build on what you said, it's just think about if for women who are maybe not, or who are thinking about joining Rock That Fitness, think about if you were to start, a year's going to go by whether you get going or not with this. And think about where you would be in a year if you started Rock That Fitness and you started working out and doing all the things, that Rock That Fitness, or if you didn't, you know, and nothing changed, where are you going to be in a year? Still going to be
Yeah,
same spot.
Laura,
And wishing you had done it.
are you
And
reading my notes? You must be
I don't
reading my notes.
I,
You are answering the question I had next. You're me. I'm telling you, we're vibing today.
yeah, I guess we are.
But that's true. I mean, the time's going to go by anyway. I
Hmm.
even did a post about this yesterday. I'm like, it is hard.
Hmm.
But what's harder is getting weaker and not
Hmm.
living up to your potential. That's harder.
Yes, it is. What's that thing you I think you did post a while back? It choose your hard.
Choose your hard. It's going to be hard either way.
Yeah, it is.
But we want to do the things today that most women are not going to do, and we're going to have what most women won't have because of it.
Right.
Um, so if someone's listening
Hmm.
and they're on the fence, they've been thinking about joining us in Rock That Fitness. Maybe they've tried everything, or maybe they even feel like, oh, I'm too far gone, because a lot of women will think that
Right.
they're past 40, they're past 50, even
Hmm.
60, and think it's too far to gone
Hmm.
now. What would you say to her that
Hmm.
feels she's tried everything and maybe she's gone too far, like too far gone now, like, and she's on the fence considering joining us in Rock That Fitness? What would you tell her?
Sign up, because it's what are you on?
Oh, you
Um,
broke up. Say that again.
we're just sign up now. Get your computer out and log on and get it done, because um, the community, what you get in this program, it's never too late. It is never too late.
Yeah.
Never, never. And everything that Rock That Fitness offers you, it's like a big hug. You're just, you get the nutrition, you get the fitness, you get Anna and Abby with all the mindset coaching, you get the ladies, all the support. And again, time is going to pass, and if you choose your path, so choose a good path and do what you need to do for your family, for yourself, and get healthy. It's never too late. I mean, I'm back at it at 58, and I know it's not too late, because it's never too late. Anything I can do to stay off medication and get stronger, um, is I'm going to do. I
Yeah.
am. So do it,
Yeah.
ladies. Do
Is
it.
there too late? And also, just at any stage, I also think about the woman that maybe she's in her early 40s and she's working her tail off, exhausted
Mhm.
and tired,
Mhm.
physically able, but how she's going to continue to drive her body into the ground. And then hormones
Right.
start to shift, and then you're gaining weight, and then life is stressful. Like, let's get a handle on this as soon as possible, like today, and make some changes so that you can not just lose weight, but show up
Mhm.
for you, show up for your life, show up in every aspect of
Mhm.
everything that you do,
Mhm.
with that power, everything that you have available to you inside of you. It's in you. So
Mhm.
take that step and know that by taking these steps and doing these things, you're going to be showing up, not just in your health and your fitness, but like showing up and enjoying your life to the fullest
Mhm.
in your work, in your family, in your relationships, all of those things.
Sure.
It goes beyond the physical. So, well, I'm this has been amazing. Do you
Well,
have any last you're just a ball of energy that like I love having you around, Laura.
well, thank you. You're
Every
expressing.
time. Yeah, I mean, well, thank you. And you are an inspiration, and we have had several listeners over the past, I don't know, there's always people asking, please bring on a member of Rock That Fitness. We love hearing podcast episodes. And you and I had a coaching call a few weeks ago, and this wasn't like we were just talking one thing after the other, and then it just worked. I wasn't seeking out somebody, but I'm just saying people have been asking, when are you going
Yeah.
to have another Rock That Fitness member on the podcast episode? We love hearing their stories. And so
Yeah.
I just really appreciate that you came on today. Thank you for taking the time and giving your
Oh,
time.
it was my pleasure. I love it. You know what? I'm still, you know what? I have to say, this was like bucket list worthy.
Oh,
It's
you're so cute.
it was awesome. Thank you so much for asking me.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Thank you.
special.
I'm glad this was mutual. So I'm excited, Laura, because this fall we're going to be doing the Jumpstart Challenge again, the one that you came in, the one you start, the free Jumpstart Challenge, where the ladies can come in and experience coaching and experience the Rock That Fitness app and actually implementing the way that we train with strength training inside of the app.
Mhm.
Jumpstart Challenge is coming. And ladies, if you're listening and you're interested, you want to give this a try, and it's time to make that change, then I highly recommend that you go in the show notes, grab that link, and get on the priority, like get on that Jumpstart Challenge list, so that you're the first to know all about it and when we're going to get started. Yeah, I just wanted to put a plug in there because that's how you started with us, was the Jumpstart
Yeah,
Challenge.
it was worth it.
It
It
was
was worth
fun. It was worth it, and it
it.
was fun.
It was.
So I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything?
Oh, I don't think so. No, but thank you so much. You are
Of
just.
course, and
I,
thank
you know
you.
what? Yeah, and thank you again. And ladies, join Rock That Fitness. You will not regret it. It is fantastic. It is wonderful.
And how much do I owe you for that today?
Free,
Free of charge.
free,
No, for
free.
real. We're just here to love and serve, because
You,
this is my passion, and you can see obviously it spills over. It spills over. All of the ladies in Rock That Fitness feel this way. Like, come on in. We're gonna welcome you in with open arms, and your life is gonna change. So thank you, Laura. We're gonna rock on. We're gonna self-care, self-love all day with all the things. And rock on.
yeah.
Love you, girl. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in again today to our podcast. Thank you for listening. It is such a privilege and an honor to be alongside you in your health and your fitness journey. Remember to check out the show notes. There's always some free resources in there, and I don't want you to miss out on anything new that's coming up in Rock That Fitness. And if nothing else, just remember this: you are a rock star fit woman, and you deserve to give yourself the best opportunity to succeed, lasting and true change in your health and your fitness. If you found value in this today, please share it with somebody. Leave us a 5-star review or any kind of review if you found value in the podcast today or in any of our podcast episodes. And then always remember, self-care, self-love, all day, every day, in all the ways. So stay strong and rock on.